Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Krishna Gopal. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the second part of our case study which we are discussing in this playlist. In the first part, we just discuss about what the case study, how we're going to solve, what are the steps we're going to follow, and then we perform some kind of analysis in the first part of the video. The second part of video is only devoted to the univariate analysis, or most precise if I say, then it is only we're going to discuss about the missing value analysis, how we treat the missing value, how we calculate the missing value from every column, and then how we plot it. But before we're going to discuss about this, let's have a quick recap what we discussed in the first part of the video. So as we know, we are solving the case study which is related to the natural language processing, and in this case study we need to predict whether the tweet which person are putting in the Twitter is showing real disaster or not in the time of an emergency situation. So that is basically our objective is to predict the tweet is showing disaster or not showing the disaster. Okay, so this is basically a binary classification problem, and as we know what we're going to predict, so it's come under the supervised machine learning problem. So when we start this case study, we just load basic libraries in the Python, that is a NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and the Seaborn. And then we load the dataset from our local file. Make sure your data file is also in the same folder where you create this Python notebook, so that it can be loaded easily. Otherwise you have to be passed the path of that file. Then after load the dataset, we are curious to know what we can get from this data. So we write in a function that is a get summary of our data, and in that we see how many rows, how many columns, what are the name of the columns, how many values are missing in every column that we get from the data.info. So our output look like that. So we have the 5 column, that is the ID, keyword, location, text, and target. Target is 1, means it's showing the disaster, 0 means it's not showing the non-disaster. We are solving the binary classification problem, and when we know our target also what we're going to predict, so it's better to do that target analysis compared to perform the other kind of analysis in this case study. So what I'm going to do, we did the target analysis, is what already we discussed in the first video. So as I told, 0 means non-disaster and 1 means disaster, but it's not always like if somebody see your case study, they can't understand what the 0 and what the 1, so you should give some name. Then when at the time of a modeling, again you can change it to the 0 and 1. So if it is a 1, then I write a disaster, and if it is a 0, then we write a non-disaster. Again we write in a function, because this function now we can map to our target column. So that's what we did here. We use the map function, that is a Python inbuilt function we have. We use it, and now you can see the result in this way. As I told, we are only doing the one column analysis, that is what we are doing, the univariate analysis of the one column in our data set. So whatever things you analyze, whatever the things you create in the tabular form, it's always good to do in the visualization form. So make sure your data visualization skills is very good, compare even to the data modeling, because almost if I talk about the industry, they also want a good data visualization person compared to data modeling. Data modeling you can learn when you get an experience, when you get the different experience of different problems. But make sure whatever you create in a tables, you can put in the kind of a graph chart or some pie chart, bar chart, like that. So as I told, we are doing the univariate analysis. So what we can do, we can use the pie chart and the bar chart. Pie chart is basically mostly used for the univariate analysis. So how we draw the pie chart for this, we define the figure, we define 2 axes, then we call the plt.subplots. In the one row we give the 2 columns. In the first column pie chart, and the second column is a bar chart. Then you can define the figure size as well. And then you call the pie chart function, and you do the whatever the needs to draw the pie chart, and same as the bar chart also. Don't forget to put the X label, Y label, and the target and the title of your plot, because it make more sense if somebody see your case study. So that's what we discussed in the last video. I go quickly because this already we have we cover in the detail in the first part of video. If you not watch the first part of video, please go and watch the first part of video. So let's start today's video. In today's video we are going to discuss about the missing value analysis. But question is, why we are going to analyze the missing values? Because when we load the data, if you see here, when we load the data, we get the 7613 number of rows. But if you see the location and the keyword, both the columns the values are missing. To keep these columns in the data set or to reject these columns in the data set, that what we can get an idea from the missing value analysis. So for every column, how to calculate the missing values. In every column of the data set, I want to calculate what number of percentage of missing values we are not have in our data set. For this, I create one dictionary, that is the missing dict. This is the simple dictionary we have. Then I loop through all the columns in the dataset. So for column in df.columns, missing dict column, missing dict column is equal to df call dot is null. Is null will tell you how many values are missing, how many values are nan in your data set. Then I want to get the sum, so I write the sum. Okay, sum. Then I will I divide this number with the length of the data set, that is the how many rows we have. So how we get the rows? df dot shape 0. Okay, and to get the percentage I multiply with 100. So let's check what the missing dict we have. So ID is a 0%, keyword is a 0.8%, and if I talk about the location is a 33.27%, text is a 0%, and target is also the 0%. So the question come here now, either you're going to keep the location or keyword in your dataset to predict whether the tweet is showing real disaster or not, or you're going to remove it. So what's you going to do? So basically when we have column like kind of a location, first we need to understand the basic domain knowledge, that if somebody putting the tweet in the Twitter, so definitely he or she can tag that location also from where where they are seeing the emergency situation, because from there. So this is basically a user input. This is no, I think not going to help us in our basic machine learning model that it will predict disaster or non-disaster. So according to me, we will remove it. So as we get the missing, how many percent of the missing values in a dictionary, so make it in a data visualization. So what the best graph we can use the bar chart. So for drawing the bar chart, I am defining the figure and axis, that is the AX. I am defining the PLT dot subplots. I'm not going to define here more than one plot, so no need to give how many rows and how many columns. You can give here the fixed size. So fixed size you can give the 15,6 here. Okay, then you call the bar chart, so ax dot bar, and what you will do in the x-axis, what you want to see? You want to see the number of what are the name of the column, and in the y-axis what you want to see? How many values are missing, that one it show according to the bar chart. Okay, so to put the x-axis label, what is that? That is the missing dictionary keys. So missing dict, and y-axis what you going to put? Values. So what you going to do? Missing dict dot values. What the label you want to see? You can put the label here, missing values. Okay, then according to your wish you can give the color. Okay, so I am not giving here the color. Then to see the label in your chart, what you going to do? You going to write plt dot legend, then ax dot set x label, and you can write the name. What the name? Columns, right? Similarly you can do the for the y-axis as well, that is you have to change here the y, and you can write here the missing values percentage, missing percentage. Then you can write the plt dot title. So title is the missing value analysis, and then at the end you going to do plt dot show. Okay, so this is the chart we get. So location and the keyword. So as I told, the location is a user input. It's not going to help us to predict whether the tweet is a disaster or non-disaster. So according to me, we should leave this from here. We should not take the keyword and the location further from this step. And that's about the missing value analysis. And I feel the dictionary is one of the most powerful tool we have in the Python, that with that help we can do a lot of analysis. So this is what about today's video, missing value analysis. And if I show you our the steps, what are the steps we are going to follow. So we cover up to the perform the univariate analysis, because we in the missing value analysis we discuss how to do the bar chart. In the target analysis we discuss about the univariate analysis, that is talk about the one column. So up to the point 5 we cover everything in the first and the second video. From the third video we're going to start about the meta features, why we need to create the meta features, what are the meta features, is they are really needful, and what we're going to do. So let's talk about the meta features in the next video. Up to that, thank you and take care. And if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Bye.